During the tenancy and subject to reasonable notice, you should allow the landlord or landlady, their workers or their agents to inspect the property. Reasonable notice is normally considered to be 24 hours. You have the right to decide who can come into your home. Your landlord or landlady does not have the right to enter your home without your permission. As part of your tenancy agreement, you will be entitled to quiet enjoyment, and you should not expect unannounced visits and harassment from your landlord or landlady. Evidence that smoke alarms and any carbon monoxide alarms are in working order at the start of tenancy. Tenants should then regularly check when they are working. At the end of the fixed period, if you want to stay and extend your tenancy, there are a number of important issues to consider. There may be costs for this, particularly if you rent through an agent. If not, you will be on a rolling periodic tenancy. This means you carry on as before, but with no fixed term. Your tenancy agreement should say how much notice you must give the landlord or landlady if you want to leave the property. 1 month's notice is typical. If you have a complaint about a letting agent's service and they don't resolve your complaint, you can complain to an independent redress scheme. Letting agents must be a member of a government-approved redress scheme. Should you need further help, contact your local housing authority, Citizens Advice, or shelter as soon as possible. If the property is in an unsafe condition and your landlord or landlady won't repair it, contact your local authority. They have powers to make them deal with serious health and safety hazards. By law, as a tenant, you must be given the following information from your landlord or landlady. If you have a weekly tenancy, they must provide a rent book or similar document. Your landlord or landlady commits a criminal offence if they fail to do so. If you do not know the name of your landlord or landlady, you can make a written request to the person who receives the rent for the full name and address of your landlord or landlady. The agent must supply you with this information in writing within 21 days, after which they commit an offence. If you are being forced out illegally, contact the police and your local authority. If your landlord wants you to leave the property, they must notify you in writing with the right amount of notice. You can only be legally removed from the property with a court order. You need to pay your rent on time. If you don't, you could lose your home because you have broken your tenancy agreement. You must also pay any other bills that you are responsible for on time, such as council tax, gas, electricity and water bills. If you pay the gas or electricity bills, you can choose your own energy supplier. You must look after the property. Get your landlord's permission before attempting repairs or decorating. It's worth getting contents insurance to cover your possessions too, because the landlord's insurance won't cover your things. You're not allowed to take in a lodger or sublet without checking whether you need permission from your landlord. Landlords and landladies and agents have the right to confirm your identity, immigration status, credit history and possibly employment status. They will also need to make copies of your documents, but need to return the original documents to you. Your landlord can increase your rent by agreement or as set out in your tenancy agreement, or by following a procedure set out in law. The landlord must give you a copy of How to Rent, the checklist for renting in England, either a printed copy or, if you agree, via email as a PDF attachment. The landlord must provide you with a gas safety certificate at the start of the tenancy and within 28 days of each annual gas safety check, if there is a gas installation. They also need to give you the Energy Performance Certificate, except for houses in multiple occupation. Landlords must maintain the structure and exterior of the property, particularly fit smoke alarms on every floor and carbon monoxide alarms in rooms with appliances using solid fuels such as coal and wood, and make sure they are working at the start of your tenancy. If they are not there, ask your landlord to install them. Carry out most repairs. Arrange an annual gas safety check by a gas-safe engineer where there are any gas appliances. Get a licence for the property if it is a licensable property. If your landlord wants to end the tenancy, they must give you a notice. It is a legal requirement for landlords to give you proper notice if they want you to leave. Normally, the landlord must allow any fixed period of the tenancy to have expired, and they must have given at least 2 months' notice. Return of deposit. Try to be present when the property is inspected to check whether any of the tenancy deposit should be deducted to cover damage or cleaning costs. If you do not agree with proposed deductions, contact the relevant deposit protection scheme. We have a right to live peacefully in our home, and we all have a responsibility to be a good neighbour. By being a responsible tenant and a good neighbour, you are helping to improve community spirit in your neighbourhood. Antisocial behaviour is unacceptable. You are responsible for the behaviour of everyone, including children, living in or visiting your home. You are responsible for them while they are in your home or garden, and also while they are in the surrounding area, including shared areas. If you own a pet, always try to keep your pet under control so as not to cause a nuisance to anyone in your neighbourhood. Do not leave animals alone for a long time, and take care to make sure that your pet does not foul in public places or cause any damage. Try to carry out noisy activities such as DIY jobs during the hours of 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays and Saturdays, and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays. Keep the volume on hi-fi, radios and televisions as low as possible, especially at night. If you're having a problem with noise, like loud music, noisy pubs, rowdy parties or barking dogs in your neighbourhood, your council can help you. Do not burn garden waste or have a barbecue when your neighbour has washing out to dry.